Hello and welcome to our flip video lesson, Something to Write About, lesson 4.02. So for today's lesson, you have your Human Odyssey reading pages 107 to 109, your student guide workbook pages 98 and 100, your OMS assignment is 4.02, and we are talking about the writing system in ancient Egypt. For our learning objectives for today, describe the use of hieroglyphics and the way in which the modern world discovered them, identify the system of writing of ancient Egypt, explain how archaeologists and historians have learned about the daily lives of ancient Egyptians, and list examples of everyday life in ancient Egypt. Introduction, something to write about. Like the Sumerians, the ancient Egyptians developed a writing system. For more than 3,000 years, they carved hieroglyphics on temple walls, tombs, and monuments. But the Egyptians didn't write only on stone and clay. They invented a lightweight writing material, papyrus. Egyptian scribes could roll the papyrus into cylinders, and soon they had libraries full of their writings. Over time, however, people forgot how to decipher the mysterious picture symbols. It wasn't until centuries later that a stone unlocked the secrets of the ancient Egyptian writing system. Remember, the Sumerians were the first people to develop writing. They created a system called cuneiform. The Egyptians created a system of writing called hieroglyphics, a word from Greek meaning sacred engravings. Egyptian hieroglyphics. Like the ancient Mesopotamians, Egyptians invented a kind of pictographic writing. Instead of an alphabet, different symbols of pictures were used. The Egyptian writing is called hieroglyphics. Hieroglyphics were used to record information about religion and government. It could be written right to left, left to right, or up and down. Imagine how confusing that must be to write or to read. The Rosetta Stone. The Rosetta Stone, for a long time, explorers were stumped and confused in trying to understand all the records left behind by ancient Egyptians. Nobody knew how to read hieroglyphics. In 1799, a French soldier found a special stone in the city of Rosetta. This stone had the same message written in both hieroglyphics and Greek. This was important because it helped to translate what the hieroglyphics said and could be used to translate other hieroglyphics as well. And now you can turn to your student guide, page 98. And this is another one of those questions. Oops, I don't know why this screen always moves. Sorry about that. This is another one of those questions that doesn't have much space for writing. So if you'd like to get another piece of paper, you can do that. You can pause this video and do that. Question number 1. How did the Egyptians use hieroglyphics? The Egyptians carved hieroglyphics mostly on temple walls, tombs, and monuments. Egyptian scribes used hieroglyphics to read the exploits of pharaohs and to keep all kinds of official records for the pharaoh. From reports about harvests to construction plans for temples, they filled papyrus scrolls with information about history, astronomy, and other topics. Question number 2. After the Egyptian civilization came to an end, people eventually forgot how to read hieroglyphics. What object did French soldiers discover in 1799 that helped scholars learn how to read hieroglyphics? And that was the Rosetta Stone. Question number 3. How many years passed between the time the object was created and the time the French soldiers discovered it? We're going to throw in a little math here. So the Rosetta Stone was carved in 196 BC and it was discovered in AD. So there were about almost 2,000 years that had passed between the time it was created and the time it was discovered. And question number 4. How did the object help scholars decipher hieroglyphics? The stone had 3 sections of writing, one of which was in Greek, which people could read. Scholars realized the other sections probably said the same thing as the Greek section. Over a period of 20 years, scholars worked to match the Greek with the hieroglyphs. They could then begin to read ancient Egyptian documents. If archaeologists had never discovered the Rosetta Stone, our knowledge of ancient Egypt would be very different today. We would know far less about Egyptian ideas and life in Egypt. So it was a huge key piece. Let me go back to this picture here, just now that you have that description. So we had 3 different languages that were depicted here. One here on this top, one in the middle, and one on the bottom. Okay. And then in your notes, there's a link here if you'd like to go and learn more. You are welcome to do that. All right, and here we come to our vocabulary section. Hieroglyphics, the formal writing system used in ancient Egypt. Papyrus, a tall aquatic plant, a material on which to write, prepared from thin strips of the pith of this plant laid together, soaked, pressed, and dried, used by the ancient Egyptians, Greeks, and Romans. Exploits were a striking or notable deed, feat, spirited or heroic act, and scholar was a learned person, especially one who had a profound knowledge of a particular subject. And then here we come to our quotes section. Language is an inventory of human experience. And that was said by L.W. Lockhart. Really like that quote. Think about that. Make sure that you do have your reading pages complete, pages 107 to 109. Remember, your reading kind of ties everything together. And thanks so much for joining me today. As always, stay positive, stay fighting, stay brave, stay ambitious, stay focused, and stay strong. Have an amazing day.